Hey guys, welcome back. Looks like Facebook is always changing stuff, changing the buttons around and everything. But anyway, I want to come to you guys today to do this topic. It's at the end of the day, and hopefully I can do it in less than an hour. I should be able to because I'm trying to get back home, relax, chill. Been pretty much at the school all day. But yeah, this is a topic that I wanted to address because you guys know I've been in LA for over 2 years now. I moved here February 2016 and it's now, what, October 2018. So yeah, I've been here like 2.5 years and people keep asking me, how you like LA? And I'm like, it's straight, but LA will never be New York. Never. And one of the things I think I noticed, like one of the biggest differences between LA and New York is like how friendly people are here in LA. I don't know if friendly is a good word though that I should call it, but I'm just going to use the word friendly in quotation marks. And compare it to like people back on the East Coast, especially in New York, and you guys know I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, aka the Bangum where they hang 'em, aka Murder Capital of Florida. Like it has so many different names, right? But people aren't as friendly, I think, on the East Coast, and it's a reason why because there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of reason to be suspicious of people and to just be wondering, like, should I really trust this person or do I really know this person? But I noticed like out here, like everything is just all happy, dandy, friendly, and you know, it can be a good thing. I felt like it didn't take me that long to adjust or adapt because I adapt very easily to my surroundings and my environment. It's just how I survive. But yeah, I just that's one of the biggest things that I noticed. And you guys are watching, feel free like to talk. This can be an interactive discussion. I don't have to sit here and lecture to you guys, but I do have some things that I want to share in this video about no new friends. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Drake who coined the phrase "no new friends." It's like that song was in my head the other day. No new friends, no new friends, no, no, no. But seriously though, it's like people out here in LA, and it's funny because I say LA cautiously because I just met this woman who travels a lot. I actually met her at the nail shop. I was getting my nails done, and she talked about how LA is much different than California. It's like you have California and then you have LA, and she said a lot of times people kind of misconstrue or get things confused, thinking that LA represents the entire California, which it doesn't. And it kind of reminded me of Atlanta and Georgia because you have Atlanta, then you have Georgia, two totally different places. They're not the same, although Atlanta sits in Georgia. Two totally different places. But yeah, people in LA are overall pretty much friendly. They're sociable. People want to make friends, and I think on one hand that can be a good thing, but on the another hand, depending on who you are, it's like I feel like you have to be careful, and that's where I am. I feel like I'm in a point in my life right now where it's like a very pivotal time. It's a very sensitive time. Like I feel like it's a very like I don't know. It's like a place and time where I feel like I have to guard not just who I am, what I stand for, but the friendships and relationships that I build and the people that I connect with. And I just have to just be careful. And I feel like not just, I feel like, I mean, it's really important, definitely the time that I'm in now, but I feel like that can apply to any stage in a person's life. Like, you just got to be careful, like, who you let in your inner circle because things are kind of crazy out there. Like, things can be kind of crazy and it can cost you a lot. Like if you are a person like myself who has a lot to lose in life, believe it or not, I do have a lot to lose and a lot at stake. I have brands that I've built. I have a lot of things that I will work hard towards, even what I'm working towards now, my PhD. So I definitely have to be careful about how I move, and not only that, but who I associate with, places I go, just everything, people I affiliate myself with. Like I'm just careful, and that comes naturally. Like I'm naturally that way. I don't have to think twice about it. It's just like I automatically, of course, have a guard up. I think that it's natural, to have a guard up. It's not like, somebody did me wrong or this happened to me in my past. Like a lot of times people kind of go psychoanalytic or psychodynamic when it comes to relationships and like, oh, what happened to you? Why are you so guarded? But it's like, no, I mean, I have interests that I have to protect, and I'm wise, and I just look at you can just look at other people's relationships and friendships and see what goes wrong, and hearing like the way people talk about their friendships and relationships, and you're like, wait a minute, like I don't want that to happen to me. So I just have to be very careful. With that being said, I just have like some things that came to mind since I've been out here in LA, and encounters that I've had with mainly colleagues, people that are in like my professional circle, who kind of like want me to just, I guess, be their friend. And I find it interesting that like very soon, it's down, but very soon, like early in the game, like I had a colleague that we didn't really know each other that well. It's like I was kind of starting out in this professional setting, and I had just recently broke up with my ex, and so of course I had my own little stuff I was dealing with, and she was kind of like the listening ear for me in that time, which I appreciated, because it's like, who doesn't like to have someone who's there to listen and there to understand and empathize with you, and da 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 da. But I realized like over time it had become kind of like a thorn, and like I don't know, it kind of bother me, because it's like every time we cross paths, like she expected me to say something with respect to some kind of drama in my life, like although I had shared with her, okay, this is my breakup and this is what I'm going through, like that was something that's very obviously real and sensitive to me. But I think for her, it was just like, oh, this is like a drama show. Like, this is entertainment. This is exciting. So she was like kind of looking forward to like, what's the next episode? Like, what's happening next? And I'm just like, when I realized it, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I'm always analyzing not only myself, but other people, definitely, and my relationships and connections to other people. And I'm just like, okay, what is me coming to her, sharing this information, doing for her? I mean, obviously, I know what it's doing for me. It gives me a time to just kind of get some stuff off my chest, and feel heard and understood, But I'm like, what is it doing for her? Obviously, it's doing something. Because why is she like, oh, what happened next? What? It kind of bothered me. Like I said, I'm like, dude, the fuck? Like, am I an entertainment show? Like, is that the basis of our friendship? Just for you to sit here and listen to what's wrong in my life and to be entertained? And I just kind of took offense to that. I just felt like, okay, yes, I know that's what friends are for. Friends are here to, have a shoulder to cry on. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, number one, I don't need nobody to feel pity for me. If anything, yes, I don't mind support. Support is always good. And even I recall, during that time of my breakup at the end of last year, like my classmates were so supportive. I actually told my colleagues what was happening, and like they were like, I'm sorry to hear that, because we actually had a group project I think we were working on, and it was like, how's everything going? And I told them what was going on in my personal life, and they were just so supportive of me, and I'm just like so thankful. But it ended there. It wasn't like, they were, every time they saw me looking like towards the next episode, looking for the next episode, like, oh, what happened next? Or yeah, I guess there were a few like follow-up sessions, so they were like, okay, how's everything? I hope everything's fine. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, and left it at that. On the other hand, like this other person I'm talking about, like she was just really like, oh, what's happening? And it would be days I would come in and be like, everything's good, and she's like, you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, okay, are you looking for something wrong? Like, that's how I feel like it's a problem, especially like in a relationship where it's like people like looking for shit that's wrong, and I'm like, that is just a typical psychologist. That's like a pet peeve of mine in this profession where you have psychologists. This is, I know, okay, part of a psychologist's job is to look for clinical problems, right? A presentation of clinical symptoms, but to like always view a person through this negative lens, like something is wrong with you, like what's wrong, like to me that does something to me, because I feel like instead of focusing so much on the negative side, why not highlight the strengths? Why not focus on positive things? There's nothing worse to me like than a relationship where you have people who always focus on the negative. It's just like they look forward to the negative. It reminds me like back in Jacksonville, Florida, where I grew up, like it was a consensus amongst a lot of people who live there, especially black people. Like they look forward to watching the news and not just that, but obviously to just, they look forward to seeing negative things happen, like people getting shot, people getting killed, like it excites them, you know. I'm just like, kind of sick, pathetic, sadistic shit is that to look forward to negativity, you know. But it was just like the thing, it was like prime time, you know. It's like waiting for 5 o'clock to come because you knew that somebody was gonna die or somebody got shot and killed or something bad happened to someone. It's just annoying. I don't know. So that just made me think of that. But for me, I don't like that. I just like, I don't like for my relationship or friendships to be based on a person looking forward to some drama happening. Like, it's okay that a person's life can be perfectly fine, peaceful. You know, like I have periods in my life where like there's nothing wrong. I'm good. You know, everything is just, I'm maintaining essentially, you know, or I'm on an up and up, you know, like right now I feel like, okay, things are good. I'm in a good place. It just, people are looking for something bad to happen. That reminds me again, like I told you guys, I talked to my mom on birthday on September 28th, where she called me, reached out to me, you know, she said happy birthday. But I can tell like the tone of her voice. She was just like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And even that, like, that's my mom, that's my family, that's blood. But that's my mom, like I said, family and blood. But I'm honest enough to say this, that annoyed me, you know, because she's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, what's behind that? Mm-hmm. It's more like a judgmental thing, you know. I'm like, okay. But on the same token, she's just like, oh, like she's so happy for me, you know, just like looking for something. Like sometimes people can't, especially black people, can't be satisfied with good happening in a person's life. They just, it has to be something wrong. They have to be looking for something wrong to happen. Maybe because it makes them feel better about their own life, you know? But personally and quite honestly, I don't want to be around people like that. I don't want to develop friendships where people are just negative. Like, god damn, or they just consumed with drama. Drama, 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 like a Jerry Springer show. It's just entertainment for them. That does nothing for me. That's not the kind of friendships that I want. Meanwhile, on another token, like another person came to mind where, you know, I felt kind of aggravated and annoyed by this person to a certain extent because, you know, it's like they want me to hang out with them. They want to go to parties and drink and smoke. I'm like, that's not where I'm at right now in my life. You know, I'm not interested in drinking. I'm not interested in getting high. I'm not interested in getting drunk, you know? And when this person reached out to me the other day and was like, let's go out, let's do this. And I'm just like, honestly, I'm really tired because I had a lot going on this past weekend. I had a lot of errands I had to run, just busy the entire weekend. And so, yes, I need my rest. And yes, self-care is very important to me. I have to take care of myself. That's number one priority. And when someone or something tries to come in the way of that, you know there's going to be some pushback from me. Like, I'm going to take offense to that, which I did. And, like, I'm telling her, like, you know, I'm tired. And she was like, oh, yeah, is that what, you know, New Yorkers say? And I'm just like, okay, she's trying to throw shots. Because, number one, I'm not, I mean, yes, I consider New York my home. But I'm originally from Florida, so I'm more like a Floridian. And then second of all, I'm a grown-ass woman. I feel like I don't have to explain myself to anybody. I'm a grown-ass fucking woman. I don't explain myself to anybody. And if I tell you that I'm tired and no thanks, I'm not going out, end of story. Let that be it. That's the kind of friends I want. A person that's very understanding and very empathic. If they say, oh, I want to go out and do this, but I tell them, you know what, I'm tired, I'm staying in, then let it be that. Don't try to manipulate me or try to guilt trip me into going out, because that's a problem for me, you know? And I said that to her, and then she sent me like this little meme with this dog crawling in his bed, you know, just trying to, I guess, like make me feel bad for staying in. I'm just like, you can't make me feel bad. And if anything, me seeing that you're trying to manipulate me into going out is going to create more distance, because I don't associate myself with people who are manipulators. I just don't. That's not my cup of tea. I know what's happening. You know, I can pick up on things. Hello, I study human behavior. Like, I do this all day in my sleep. So I know exactly what you're trying to do. And I'm just like, don't try to run that game with me. It doesn't work. If you ask me, do I want to do something, and I tell you no, that's it. You can't, like, my mind is my mind. Don't try to change my mind. I'm a grown ass woman. I can't say that enough. So don't try to manipulate me and try to say, oh, well, maybe I can get her to change her mind. It's not going to happen. I feel like, to me, I take offense to that because I feel like you don't respect my word. If I tell you no, then no is no. Well, no matter what it is, if I say no, then no. Don't try to change my mind. It doesn't work that way. And so she was just so persistent. Oh, well, come on, you can go out, and you can get your rest, and we're not going out until later. And I'm just like, dude, I kind of wish I didn't respond to her text messages. I already said no. And not only that, but I felt like it went over her head what I said. If I said I'm tired, like, acknowledge that. She did not acknowledge that. And it took us going back and forth for her to say, okay, I understand, but she tried to, like, on the way, guilt trip me and make me feel like some kind of way for not going out. I'm just like, do you, man? I ain't stopping you from going out having fun. Like, have fun. I want you to have fun. You're young, you're vibrant. We all have a whole life ahead of ourselves, but I feel like at the point I'm in my life right now, I don't want friends that I'm just sitting and getting high or getting drunk and drinking. Like, come on, that's what college students do. Like, I'm in the graduate program, PhD. Not to say, like, okay, I'm just, you can't drink when you're older. Of course, you have people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who drink. And I said, I drink my wine from time to time, but that's just not the way I turn up, right? And I say, it's other things I like to do. It's just like, okay, if you were in New York, what would you do? And I'm like, honestly, it don't matter where I am. Things that I like to do, and I think she should already know this because we've had some encounters, we're associates. I'm like, I actually like to go to music. Anybody know me know that I like things that, I just like things that bring, add value to my life. I like going to museums, for example. I like traveling. I like sightseeing. I like hiking. Those are all things that add value to my life. But going to a bar and getting drunk, how is that adding any kind of value to my life? It does not. It just doesn't. Straightforward, Neither does getting high. I mean, yes, people, you can make an argument and say, okay, drinking, it brings people together. You're able to kind of let your guard down and relax and socialize and have fun. Cool, okay. Granted, that's one thing, but I don't think that's kind of drinking they're going to do. She was talking about bar hopping, and that's a whole nother thing. And like I say, even in New York, I've been bar hopping before, but that ain't my thing, man. Like, maybe I'm just so focused. I'm super focused right now on getting my PhD that I don't have time for stuff like that. I do have time, like I said, for things like hiking, things like sightseeing, going around the city. I do things. You guys see my videos, things that I do. But that's another thing I felt like I shouldn't have to explain myself, which that kind of motivated me to do this video. Not just that particular situation, but even the former one that I discussed earlier, that if I had to, like, go all this back and forth, I feel like when I am alone I don't have to do that. When I'm alone by myself, or just isolated, or whatever you want to call, I don't have to explain. But when you're in a situation where a person thinks that you are their friend, it's like, with that comes an obligation, and I don't have time for that. I don't have time to feel like I'm obligated to go out with you or whatever. If I say I don't feel like it, I don't. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going out. I'm like, honestly, I prefer to do things by myself, to be quite honest. That's the kind of person I am. So if I go out or invite someone out to go out with me, it's because, okay, I'm doing it for them. I'm not doing it for me. I don't really need anyone to go with me to anywhere, to be honest. It's because that person wants to go, or wants to be with, like, honest, I don't have to do it. I've been doing this for many, many years, like, just going places by myself. When I say many, many years, of course, outside of my past relationship, because I was with a guy for 3 years and we did, like, everything together. But I could do things by myself. Even when I was in a relationship, you guys, like, I did stuff alone by myself. I can be alone. I can go to the movies alone. I can go out to eat alone. I don't need to go with people. Granted, yes, there's a benefit to social interaction. There's a benefit to, socializing with other people and just, being in a social setting. I'm not undermining that and the importance of that. I'm just saying the kind of person that I am. Like, I'm quite fine being alone, you know? That's like saying that everyone should get married. Like, everyone needs to get married and find a wife. And, like, some people, they're okay with not ever getting married. Like, their life is not going to end. Their life satisfaction is not going to decrease because they got married or get married. In fact, it actually may decrease if they do get married, you know? So I'm kind of that persuasion. Like, I don't need friends. I mean, that may sound whatever you want to call it, but I don't need friends. Like, I'm good. I am so freaking good right now. I can tell you what I do need though, because I'm not trying to say like I'm just completely antisocial, completely anti people. That's not me. I can tell you what I do need and what I am open to. Being that I'm an entrepreneur, being that I'm working towards my PhD, being that I'm a visionary, I like to travel. I'm open to like forming ties with people in terms of like, associates, right? Just getting to know each other, and just hanging out, doing things, fun things together, or even maybe a business partner. But even there, I have to make a word of caution because I've had people reach out to me who want to be business partners. Like, that's nothing new. People see that, okay, what I'm doing, I have an online presence, I have a public presence. So people find me, they come across my stuff, my website or whatever. And they're like, I want to do business with you, I've had this. I have proof too. I got receipts, of course. I don't go brag about it and post them, but I have people who've contacted me, whether publicly or privately via private message, and be like, I want to partner with you, or let's host this event together, and let's bring our brands together. And quite frankly, I've turned them down. Why? Because I move differently, you guys. Like, in order to get to my heart, you have to go through certain stages to get there. Yeah, I may call it what y'all want to call it, but hey, that's just Danielle. That's just who I am. It's not to say like I can be out in public and I can talk to somebody on the street. I don't know strangers and tell them things about me. And you guys obviously see that I do vlogs and I tell people about different aspects of my personal life. So it's not that I'm just so closed off to the world that I can't share anything with anybody and I'm just completely antisocial. That's not the case. But when it comes to like the very intimate, that's what I think. I say this, like, y'all think y'all know me, but y'all have no idea. Y'all don't really know the really intimate side of Danielle. To really get to the intimate, like, you have to, number one, I have to trust you. That trust is so important. I feel like we have to be on the same wavelength. And just because we're colleagues, professionally, we're working towards the same PhD, doesn't mean that we're on the same wavelength. Doesn't mean that we speak the same language. You feel me? Doesn't mean that we have the same code of ethics. Because that's important. Like, some people move a certain kind of way. I don't move that kind of way. Some people, like, they just do things differently. And I'm making this face because to me it's a turn off. Some people just, I ain't even gonna go there, but I just have to move differently. 35 years old. Everything in my life I take very seriously. I have fun. Of course, I get turned up. I just turn up in different ways. And I feel like to really get to know Danielle, number one, you got to share like yourself. I feel like I have people that share themselves. It's not that I haven't met anyone or friends out here or people out here that open themselves up. And quite frankly, I've met a handful of people who've done that, and when they've done that, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be this person's friend, because this person doesn't make wise choices. I'm past that phase of making bad decisions, like terribly bad decisions anyway. Not to say we're immune. No one is immune to making a bad decision. I'm sure make bad decisions, but I'm talking about you have to weigh the cost and the benefit. What is the cost of those bad decisions? We all make bad decisions, but the cost, and let's look at some of the cost of these bad decisions that these people who are trying to propose a friendship and wanting me to hang out with them. And I'm just like, dude, you are being your friend is too costly. I'm not talking about financial costs. I'm talking about like costly, legal costs, ethical costs, a threat to my identity as a person, a threat to my identity as a professional, as an entrepreneur. It's like, hell no, threat to my brand. That matters. And people may judge and say, oh, what brand you got? They don't see it. No one, this is how it is. It's like, quite often, no one really sees your vision. They don't really get where you're coming from, but you. And of course, until the rest of the world sees it. It's like when the rest of the world sees you, then other people and close people who are, around you or even family get you. And they see, oh, I see now. I see what that was all about. And then it makes sense to them. But now they're just like, oh, you just a PhD student. Who are you? You think you all that? They can say what they want to say. I know what interests I have to protect. And that's all what matters. And so that's why I'm very, very careful. That's probably the reason why I'm still single, because my last relationship ended in December 2018. I would say between September 2018 and December 2018. And since then, I've been living a single life, and I'm fine with that because I have to be careful. I meet all kinds of people, you guys. I'm no loner when it comes to meeting people. I'm living in Hollywood, California. You meet all kinds of people. I mean, you guys seen the other day, I made a video, like, just walking down the street, meet this Hollywood executive producer. I meet all kinds of people, and I'm open. I'm open to the possibility of meeting new people and creating friendships. But at the same time, I'm cautious. Have to be. Because it's like once you go there and you begin to develop this connection with people, and people latch on to you and they can attach to you, and they have these expectations, obligations, and I'm just like, wait a minute, you want me to do what? Like, in their mind, it's interesting how people conceptualize friendship. Because in some people's mind, they expect a friend to be like, oh, you my ride or die, you supposed to have my back. If I need $1,000 towards my rent, you're going to supposed to be there for me and give me my rent, or whatever. If I get into a fight with my boyfriend, you know what I'm saying, and come to find out he was cheating on me, you supposed to be there for me. You supposed to be at his door, banging on his door with me, standing by my, like, what? No. Hell no. I ain't doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the only person I would do that for is a person that is really committed to me, lifelong level, like deep intimacy type of shit, like husband type of shit. And that's another thing I was talking about, types of friends or people that I'm looking to connect with. It would be more like business-minded people. Those are the kind of friends I want. People who are about their business. Ain't nothing more sexier to me. I can't emphasize this enough. Nothing more sexier to me. And I ain't talking about sex. I'm just talking about attractiveness. You can go for male or female. Then a woman or a man who's on their shit, who about their business, man. That's the kind of friend I want, because I know I'm about mine. So that's what I'm attracted to. Like I said, I ain't talking about like sexual attraction. I'm talking about friendship. Friendship, close attraction, partnership attraction. That's the kind of people I'm attracted to. People who are owning grind. That's the reason why I developed an attraction towards Dr. Umar, because his grind is Pan-Africanism. It's more of a political movement. I like that. That's what turns me on. It can be male or female. A woman who's on her stuff. That's the kind of friends I want. Those are the kind of homegirls I want. You on your grind, man. We see eye to eye, especially when it comes. I think politics is like at the top of the list. You know how back in the day people would say, oh, you got to be equally yoked. You have to both believe in God, and in order to be friends with somebody, your friend, whether male or female, if you're a Christian, they should be Christian. For me, that's out the window, the whole Christianity thing. It's about Pan-Africanism. It's about the socio-political movement that we are fighting, man. We're fighting a war here. And it's about connecting with people who see through that same political lens, who are on board with that. Those are the kind of people, that's first and foremost, the kind of people that I choose to associate myself with. number one at the top of the list is politics. And then number two, I would say business. You got to be business oriented, man, on your shit. You know? Because I feel like while I'm on my shit and you just working a typical 9 to 5, ain't really doing much with shit. You ain't gonna understand. People, they don't understand. They don't understand the grind. You know, they want to go out and party and get drunk, and meanwhile I'm sitting up here building a business and a brand. And they just like, oh, what you doing? And I'm looking at them like, what you doing? And we just don't connect. You know, this is just me honestly speaking. But on another note, you know, that would be more of like, you know, a regular type of friendship or bond, you know, homegirl, homeboy type of thing. But aside from that, I would say people, well, what are you looking for then? You know, you don't want no new friends. I mean, I have space in my life for people. So it would be like more, like I said, more of a political or business connection. And then, of course, romantic relationship, you know? Like, I'm 35 years old. And of course, I still believe in marriage. Of course, I want to get married. Of course, that's still on my radar, you guys. I definitely plan to get married someday, you know, to a real genuine man who is about the same stuff that I already talked about in this video, on his stuff too, just as much as I'm on mine. That's what attracts me, because I want to build a family, you know. I want to just be me. I eventually want to build a family, you know. About to buy a house soon can't come soon enough, but it's going to be pretty soon, you know. And travel the world and just do great things. That's just where I'm at in my life. So when I say no new friends, it's not that I'm just completely closed off to friendships or anything like that, but I'm so focused right now that a lot of people who propose friendship to me, I had people who call me their friend, and I'm just like, okay, people use, you know, the word friend very loosely, so I'll use it loosely, and I've called them, okay, that's my friend. But truthfully speaking, I don't know if I can say I have friends out here in California. I don't know. I don't know that. I can say I have associates. I can say I have people who I vibe with, you know, who I've vibed with before, who I've hung out with. But a friend, people use that word so loosely, a friend. I'm very careful who I use that word with, who I call my friend, you know? Because if I'm calling you my friend, that means that you are my friend, but I am your friend. I am your friend. That means that I am just as committed to the relationship to you as you are to me. And I feel like I have people who, I guess, somewhat want to be my friend. They've called me their friend and they want a commitment and whatever. But I don't know what that means. We haven't even talked about it, you know, to actually sit down. We've talked about other things, politics and just stuff, school, whatever, you know, relationships, boys and stuff like that. But to talk about the real stuff, you know, like I say, you got to go through certain stages to become my friend. You know, you got to go through certain loops. You got to pass certain tests. And the people that I've come across, I ain't passed those tests, man. Just like, nah, I can't be my friend. I don't have friends that do legal shit. I don't have friends that are gossipers. You know, a lot of people out here, yeah, they friendly, but they talk too much. They gossip, you know, and I feel like, okay, if you bring it to me telling me other people's business, I know you're going to tell other people my business. So how are we going to be friends if I don't even trust you with information I'm sharing with you? That I can share some things with you and I'm worried about, okay, who else is going to know this, you know? Because that's the thing about, that's the sacredness of friendship. You know, it's like I'm sharing things with you that I don't share with the public, that I don't share with anybody else. But if I can't even trust you to be able to hold that information and hold it respectfully and treat me with respect, that's number one, which I feel like a lot of motherfuckers have failed that test. because they don't. And I wouldn't say that they've done it personally, like a personal attack towards me or person try to disrespect me, but I just feel like that's just them. Some people don't even realize like who like that they're being disrespectful. That's just so much, I guess, part of our culture, the American culture. I gotta end this video because I got shit to do. But the whole thing about the B word, I'll say it for this video, bitch, because you may not have a clue what I'm talking about, but bitch, I don't use that word, but you got women that refer to each other as bitches. That alone to me is very offensive. I don't like that. So if you got that in your vocabulary and you refer to women as, we can't be friends. That's just, y'all may say, oh damn, she fucking picky. No, I'm not picky. I just have a certain level of respect for myself. I don't get down like that. Even the N word, I don't like that. A lot of young people just still use it. That's my nigga. And they be like, nigga, please. You ain't about to call me that. Because that's the end of our friendship. If that word ever come out your mouth, like, same thing with bitch. I don't like that. Being disrespectful, trying to be manipulative. No. I don't do that kind of friendship. I do respectful friendships. And for the most part, people on their grind. That's kind of friendships I do. Because I'm busy, and they're going to be busy too. When we come together, it's going to be like magic. We're going to bond, we're going to understand each other, we're going to respect each other. Because what I'm asking this because I know I can give it. I know the capacity of my heart. And I know once I extend myself out to someone as their friend, I'm a big giver, y'all. I mean, hell, go look at my YouTube channel. Look at the number of the videos that I've created. Look at the number of videos in which I've created. Nearly, I think, 1,000. That goes to show you how much of a giver I am. I share. I don't mind sharing. And granted, this is just YouTube, Facebook, social media. That's just a snapshot. That's not who I am. Y'all have no clue. It's a lot more to the story than what y'all see, what me see I. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I know my capacity. I know I'm a big giver. So I have to guard that with my life. I don't feel bad. Some people try to make you feel guilty, like, oh, you don't want to be my friend. You ain't shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care because I don't need no motherfucking friends. I don't. I really don't. But hey, thank you guys for watching. I'm laughing because I know I pissed some people off. They shouldn't be mad though. Ain't no reason to be mad. I'm speaking the freaking truth. Maybe, and though people start, everybody got different code of ethics when it comes to their social relationships, right? My code of ethics is a little bit more stringent than others. Some people, they're real laid back. They don't care about, using the word bitch. They don't care about certain things, but for me, certain things do matter. And I just can't tolerate that foolishness, the gossip. And you got people say, oh, everybody gossip. Of course, we all have our stories that we share and we reflect on certain events or people, things that people do. Yes, but I think it's all in how we do it. It's a certain level of class that you can have versus just straight ratchetness. And the vibe I've been getting from people out here, like some of the people I've come across anyway, is that they'll come to me and talk to me just drama. Like, I care to hear it. I don't care about that. Going on and on about, oh, this bitch, this, and that. I don't give a fuck. How the fuck is that bettering me? I don't care. Going on and on. Like, why are you going to tell them? You come to tell me you feel that way towards them. Then you got the people that want you to be their therapist, got all these fucking baggage and drama, and I'm just like, if you don't go to therapy, I'm not your fucking therapist. You just sit here and listen to all their goddamn problems and just telling you too much information that they ain't got no business even sharing with you. They should really be talking to a therapist, because that's just too TMI, too much information, But hey, I gotta go. Catch you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to share this video and comment below and let me know how you feel about the whole no new friends thing. Do you live by that code? I know a lot of people do. A lot of people are just fine with the old friends that they've been had for many years, and I'm like, okay, that ain't really a bad idea. But at the same time, I'm also open. I'm just very cautious with my openness, to people. But hey, it's a purpose behind that. So I will catch you guys later. Let me go. Bye bye.